Hey guys, it's me, Seren, back with another video. This is going to be a quick little PSA. I feel like I haven't done a PSA in a while. And this is something that's been on my mind since last week, since I saw this post floating around on Tumblr about microaggressions. So I just wanted to let you guys know, PSA, you don't have to excuse microaggressions. I have the Tumblr post in front of me, and basically the post was just people talking about how they're constantly being told by white people when they're shopping, oh, do you work here? Do you work here? Can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? And how common that is. So it's a pretty long post, but I'm going to read, some of the comments. This lady just asked me to process a return at Macy's. I'm carrying a purse. Got asked to go look for something in the back at Target yesterday while wearing a suit. Shit's real out here. Last week, an old white lady stopped me at H&M and asked if I worked there. I was also carrying a purse and had headphones on. Someone else put, this has happened to me so many times, specifically at Macy's. It's almost like clueless white people shop there almost exclusively. And it's a long post. Like, it goes on and on and on of black people sharing their stories of, times that I was shopping, times that I was walking down the street in a nice neighborhood, times that I was doing something where white people said something to me that, pretty much made it seem like I wasn't supposed to be there. I'm shopping in Macy's, or I'm shopping in a nice department store. They feel like because I'm black, I have to work here, right? So they asked me to go fucking find some shit in the back. It doesn't matter if I'm wearing a suit. It doesn't matter if I'm carrying a purse. It doesn't matter if I have headphones on. It doesn't matter if I'm paying for something right now at this moment. They think that because I'm black and I'm in this certain space, I have to be in this space in a certain capacity. And so at the very bottom, someone left a comment that said, microaggressions, don't overlook them. They happen way too often. And I completely 100% agree. PSA, you don't have to overlook microaggressions. And that is something that we as black people have really been trained to do. We've been conditioned to do it, where we have always been trained to forgive, to be the bigger person, that it is our job to explain everything about ourselves, explain everything about our culture, explain everything about our hair. We have been trained, and really this goes back to, slavery and a master-slave complex and a master-servant complex. I'm your master, you are my servant, so you have to do this for me. You have to explain this to me. You have to create space for me. And we've really been conditioned, that we have to protect this white fragility, and we have to be responsible for white people, and we have to coddle them. Someone left a really great comment on one of my videos, like last week, that said, black people take this responsibility for white people as if they are our children, as if white people can't take any type of personal responsibility for anything that they do. We have to make everything our fault. We have to make everything our responsibility. We have to shoulder this burden of racism as if it is ours to bear, and it's not. I keep telling you guys over and over again that fucking racism is I say sickness, but I know a lot of people don't like that, but I really feel like that's the best way to describe it, is that it is a sickness of white people. It is a disease of white people. It is a pathology. It is ingrained within their culture. It is learned behavior, and it is passed down, and it's not our responsibility. White behavior is not our responsibility. I said the same thing in my Fuck Your Respectability Politics video. Black people are not responsible for white behavior. You are not responsible for anybody else's behavior, right? Like, that is victim blaming. It completely absolves white people of any of the responsibility that they have in their participation in the system of racism, white supremacy. And, when we let go of these microaggressions, that plays into that. That is a part of our conditioning to, let white people get away with everything. And you don't have to do that. These are microaggressions, which I've talked about in other videos, but I have a definition here in front of me for anyone that doesn't know. A microaggression is a term used to refer to unintended discrimination. It is used to describe insults and dismissals that non-Black Americans regularly inflict on African Americans. They are defined as brief, everyday exchanges like you running into a white person in the store and there's them saying to you, oh, do you work here? For no other reason except for the fact that you're black. You don't have a uniform on, you don't have anything on, but you're black. So they assume that you are in a servant position. Brief, everyday exchanges that send denigrating messages to certain individuals because of their group membership. You're black. So since you're black, you have this black skin, I'm going to automatically assume that you are in a service position in this space that we are in, Macy's or wherever the fuck else. Microaggressions generally happen below the level of awareness of well-intentioned members of the dominant culture. And microaggressions are considered to be different from overt, deliberate acts of bigotry, such as the use of racist epithets, because the people perpetrating microaggressions often intend no offense and are unaware that they are causing harm. This is similar to what I said in my Yes All White People video and the video about white people. You have white people that feel like because they won't call you a fucking nigger, that they're not racist. They don't take into account the daily microaggressions that they inflict on black people and other people of color that have the same effect. Microaggression, just because you're not fucking intentionally fucking being racist doesn't mean you're not a racist. It's ingrained, it's learned behavior, and it's perpetuated at every single part of our organized society. So this is a more harmful form of racism than fucking overt racism, because people will fight you tooth and nail on why this is not a problem. And again, you have black people that have been conditioned to let this go. You might not let go of a white person calling you a nigger to your face, but you will let go of an old white lady in Macy's asking you to get her something out of the back. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You don't have to let these microaggressions go. Don't let these microaggressions go, you know? I'm going to keep on a little bit more. Microaggressions have been described as including statements that repeat or affirm stereotypes about the minority group or subtly demean it. That position that the dominant culture is normal and the minority one is aberrant or pathological, meaning that white people are normal and we're different, and that express disapproval or of discomfort with the minority group, that assume all minority group members are the same, that minimize the existence of discrimination against the minority group, seek to deny the perpetrator's own bias, or minimize real conflict between the minority group and the dominant culture. Okay? So microaggressions are when someone says you're pulling the race card. They don't want to have a real conversation about what's happening. They are being racist just by saying that to you. That is a microaggression. It is a microaggression when a fucking white person automatically assumes that you work someplace just because you're black. That is a microaggression. It is affirming stereotypes of black people in service positions. It is exactly the same as if they walked up to you, spat in your face, and called you a fucking nigger. And you don't have to let these microaggressions go. And I actually put a post on Tumblr after I saw that original post that said, I don't let microaggressions go. I don't. Me and my husband talk about this all the time. I do not let microaggressions go. If a white person walks up to me and thinks I work somewhere, I look at them and I say, I don't work here. Why would you think that? And then I watch as they fucking stutter. And I watch as their face fucking crumbles into a million pieces. If someone says, oh, I love your hair. Can I touch it? Why do you want to touch it? It's just hair, same as yours. And I watch their fucking face fall, okay? You don't have to let microaggressions go. You don't have to let racism slide. You don't have to be the bigger person. You don't have to coddle white people. You don't have to forgive them. You don't have to heal them. That's on them. That's their responsibility, okay? And black people really need to stop letting this shit fucking go. Like, stop it. It is a microaggression. It is another form of racism. It is not covert, in your face, racial slur, epithet racism, but it is a part of what allows the system to continue to be perpetuated, because we let this shit slide and it just like keeps on, you know, it's self-fulfilling. It circles and it circles and it builds and it builds and it's taught. And I actually do plan on making another video sometime this week. Hopefully I can get it up about I think it's called Taught Racism. There was a hashtag on Twitter last week that I really liked called Taught Racism or something like that. I've been kind of thinking about doing a video on, you know, how racism and white supremacy are so acceptable in our society. And this hashtag kind of like highlighted that. So I will be speaking more on that in another video. But one of the huge parts of what allows us to continue to perpetuate racism in our society is the use of microaggressions, and the way that microaggressions are seen as acceptable. You know, these are the same people that will tell you, well, I'm not racist, but if you ask them point blank, okay, well, but why did you think I worked here? I'm not wearing a uniform. You don't see me helping anyone. I'm looking through the racks. Why do you think I worked here? You thought I worked here because I was black, and that is racist. But again, those will be the people that say, well, but I'm not racist, okay? Because they're not intentionally trying to offend you. They're not intentionally trying to be racist, but they are. They are. Yes, all white people. Yes, they are. It is ingrained. And these microaggressions are a part of it, and you don't have to let that slide, right? And I'm not talking about spazzing out and snapping on people and yelling at them and being rude and being obnoxious or anything like that, because I know a lot of people also feel like, oh, well, like, it's rude. It's not rude. You don't have to be rude. But most of the times, a lot of what white people will say to you can be shut down, like I said, with a direct question, you know? Well, why do you think I work here? Because what are they going to say? Oh, because you're black and you have to work here. You have to be in a service position. That when you don't let microaggressions slide, you force those people to confront what they're really saying to you, right? You force them to confront what they're really saying to you. Oh, can I touch your hair? Why do you want to touch my hair? Oh, because it's just so different from mine. I mean, so you like othering me right now? So you feel like you're the norm and I'm like a fucking weirdo because my hair is different? That doesn't seem weird to you? When people fucking say borderline racist ass jokes, I don't get the joke. Can you explain it to me? Why is it funny? And just watch their face. You're forcing them to confront their racism and the fact that they are fucking racist. As much as they want to scream and say that they're not all white people, that they're different, just by using these microaggressions against you proves how they really are, and you don't have to let that shit slide. So I tell, you know, and like I said, me and my husband were talking about it because my husband feels like sometimes like it's no big deal. And I'm like, no, it is a big deal. It is a big deal. It is a form of racism. So what, they didn't fucking call you a nigger to your face? They may as well have, from what they implied, from the other things that they said to you. They may as well have, and I'm not going to let that shit slide. I don't let anything slide. Even if I don't say anything, if someone's standing behind me in line and they're like talking crazy talk, I turn around and I look. Make a face. And then I turn right back around. Force them to confront it. Force them to confront it. We have to stop normalizing this shit in our society. We have to stop acting like these microaggressions are fucking cool and okay, because they're not, right? They're not. So, and especially when you're in a, like I always say, a non-essential place. Now, if you have a fucking boss that's a dick and is clearly a racist, but you can't afford to lose your job, he's probably not the best person. But especially when you're, you know, you're shopping, you're riding the train. Another one that is fairly common. You're walking down the street or you're riding the train. White people will not move for black people and other minorities. Pay attention now that I've said it the next time. If you're walking towards a white person, they won't move. They will expect you to move. That is a microaggression. They expect you to move because you're fucking black and they're white. It's subconscious. It's subconscious. It's automatic. It's ingrained. It's an inherent bias. And again, it's something that's taught. Don't move next time. Just don't move. Don't move. Don't let the white person get away with asking you, oh, do you work here? Do you know where this goes? Do you know where that goes? And again, don't be rude. Don't be obnoxious. But, oh, why would you think that I work here? If they have the balls to say to you to your face because you're black, applause, because they are just an out and out racist. But watch them stumble and trip over themselves. But you have made them confront, if even for that moment, the fact that they are fucking racist. Okay? And that's your friends. Again, I don't know why I already told y'all what y'all need to do to be friends with any white people and the questions you need to ask them. But if y'all are still friends with any white people, you know, watching this video, that goes for your friends that fucking crack racist jokes, make racist remarks, you know, say little bullshit things to undercut you and get under your skin under the guise of it's just jokes. They probably really do think that it is just jokes, but they're microaggressions, and they really have the same exact effect as overt racism, same exact effect, and it just perpetuates the cycle. So PSA, you don't have to let microaggressions go. Don't let microaggressions go. You know, be the one to say, that's just not gonna fly with me. You're not gonna say that, and you need to fucking check yourself. You know? So of course I'll include lots of links. I've discussed microaggression in some other videos, which of course I'm going to link, and I've also been using cards, which are in the top right hand corner, one of these corners, so you can feel free to watch those videos on microaggressions as well. But it's interesting when, you know, on Tumblr, when that post was going around, I said, like, you know, I don't allow that shit. I don't let microaggressions fucking pass. And a lot of people said, like, oh, goals, like, I wish I could do that. Do it. Just be direct. Just be direct. You don't have to curse. You don't have to again, spaz out or anything like that, but you could just be direct. Ask questions. I don't get it. What do you mean? Why do you think I work here? Why do you want to touch my hair? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Make what do you mean and why a part of your fucking repertoire, and watch how white people start fucking folding. This has been a public service announcement. Peace.